I think that's one game which people play. That's why this trend of just moving everything online is becoming so and so common. When you see people in real life, they don't have even real social skills, a good sense of humor to talk to people. They're just like dumb, mindless robots. It also develops a very good culture in society per se, because we are not just being pretentious beings for the sake of socialization and those kind of things, but we are genuinely longing for real heart to heart self dialogues, right? Self talks and dialogues. Yo guys, namaskaram. So, Debukidastak is a platform where we talk on mental health and a lot of other sensitive issues, right? So, basically, the entire aim of this channel is to build a community around sensitive issues and make people feel comfortable about themselves. So, basically, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Our mission is to empower you with ideas to live smartly and joyfully. The world is full of suffering, but let us increase our competence to deal with things joyfully. And just a tip, so all these are basically conversations, so I might suggest that you should watch these conversations at 1.5x. You can increase the playback speed through the button in the settings. Cheers and enjoy watching. Yo guys, namaskaram. So today I wanted to talk about a concept about just developing, let's say, more connections in the real life rather than in the online world per se. So I think fundamentally it generates more trust and develops real life skills when you kind of go out and meet people in real life, rather than focusing on the number of followers that you're increasing day by day, or let's say a number of online virtual gathering of sorts. Because at the end we are all social animals, and we long for real heart to heart connections. So I also feel that when you kind of just go out and meet people, it helps in setting the right culture and bonds on that self, which is real, which is not fake in you. So it also develops a very good culture in society per se, because we are not just being pretentious beings for the sake of socialization and those kind of things, but we are genuinely longing for real heart to heart self dialogues, right? Self talks and dialogues. So I think it also sets the right tones and makes things more human in a world which is filled with fake online happiness from day in and day out. So I think fundamentally why this trend is going on is because of the so-called marketers, and let's say the so-called people in the online world who kind of want to run their businesses per se. So I would just like to kind of give you three fundamental hooks, or let's say the games which these people play. So the first game is an expectation versus reality game. So through an online medium, it is very easy to sell a perfect dream. They play on your need of selling you an expectation, because your reality is not so good in the real life. They want to sell you unattainable expectations so that they profit from you. A person, you might have seen people selling these courses, that a person who has made seven figure businesses in 3 months is selling you a course of $100 to make you rich. Like, these are the kind of things that go on specifically, and then people like to project it out in the online world as if it's such a great thing. So I think that's one game which people play. That's why this trend of just moving everything online is becoming so and so common. When you see people in real life, they don't have even real social skills, a good sense of humor to talk to people. They're just like dumb, mindless robots. So I think the second game is more from an concept versus experience game. So I have seen that we love building certain concepts based on just our own experiences, which I think are highly personal. The same experiences with two different people would have completely different interpretations, or even the same experience to the same individual at two different times, let's say in a day or in a span of week, would have a different interpretation because of the life state of that person. So in the online world, you might have seen a lot of people not basing themselves on scientific data, which is based on real hardcore science, but they base that on their own personal experiences. They then make any concept which they want to, and then they try to rip you off from your gullibility. So first of all, there is no validation of the experiences of what they are saying. They might be saying it from their own mind, or let's say making it up at that specific moment when they are recording that thing. So transitioning into an offline world makes you feel the experience. You are a being of nature. You must feel the experience without analyzing it. It makes you, I think, more in tune with whom you are from the core, and you just live through the experience without bloody analyzing it again and again, or like, just thinking, okay, what would I get, what would I get. Some experiences are just like there to just experience things, just to live through them. So the third game which these people play is what is versus what isn't. What this basically means is that usually people try to tell you things based on what isn't true or right. You might have seen that they always define their experiences not from a place of what was great in it, like how much effort was gone into it, or let's say how great the effort was, but from a place was what was missing in it. So I think we are so entitled to a so-called perfectness that we just like to pass judgments without actually knowing how hard things are in real life. Appreciating the efforts instead of always bloody well criticizing what's fucked up is how we train our minds to see the good in things and develop an abundant mindset, because then your mind would not be training from a place of okay, what's wrong, what's fucked up, and those kind of things. You'll always train from a place of what's the solution to it. Okay, these things are done good, like what can we improve, instead of like just ripping or nabbing the whole effort. So yeah, I think that's one thing which I wanted to talk about. So I think the entire tip, let's say, or just a conclusion from this would be that you kind of move more towards an offline world instead of moving more towards an online world, which is filled with like a lot of fakeness these days. So social skills, or let's say genuine human bonds, are developed on the premise that how deeply you are engaging with people on a heart to heart level. So yeah, let me know what you feel about it. And this is Debashish from Debukidastak signing off. Cheers. Just a couple of updates. So my website is live now. So you can go to www.debukidastak.com. There you'll find a lot of resources. I have my blog running there. I have my reading list for the year. If you have any suggestions, comments, I'll be happy to take that feedback in and improve, because I just want to build a community which is hell smart and just always living in the world of ideas and making things happen.